Hello, and just wanting to quickly go over an outline of Armstrong and some possible evaluations for Armstrong. So the basis of this is really from questions that have come out in the recent seminar, questions that were asking a little bit more on what Armstrong means by dispositions, and also coming out from examiners' reports for students having difficulty with Armstrong. So I thought I'd just go over and just walk through the argument that Armstrong makes, and hopefully this is a bit of a refresher on that. So I've got my propositional handout in front of me, and I'm specifically looking at this is really Armstrong's main proposition. Mental states are identical with physical states in the central nervous system. Also, if you want some more information on this, I'm really just going over a presentation that's in the mega page section by Ross Phillips. That is a PowerPoint that has a little bit more detail. So if for any reason you want to follow this up, check out the mega page and the PowerPoint on Armstrong. So the main claim by Armstrong is this proposition here: mental states basically the same as physical states, one and the same thing. There's two main arguments that he provides. Mental states are inner causes of behaviour. I'll come to that a little bit later. And also, inner causes of behaviour are neural states and processes. The second one's the easiest. And the reason, well, it's the easiest to remember, I think. The reasons that Armstrong gives for this relate to convergence of opinion that's found in science, and it's rational to believe what learned people agree upon, so therefore it's rational to believe scientists. It's known that scientists agree that inner causes of behaviour are brain states. That's what they generally agree upon. Whether or not they actually do, maybe that's a possibility for evaluation. But Armstrong seems to think that scientists agree that inner causes of behaviour are brain states, and therefore it's rational to believe that the inner causes of behaviour are neural states and processes. So that's one section that's informing his main claim: mental states are the same as physical states. That's the supporting argument from the convergence and agreement within the science world. The second main reason that he gives is this one that's highlighted. Mental states are the inner causes of behaviour. And in this section of the text, Armstrong goes off on a little bit of a tantrum, which isn't always clear what he's trying to do. He talks a bit about behaviourism, but clearly he's not a behaviourist. He just wants to take one aspect of that particular field of science and to reconceptualise it or use it for his own advantage when coming to think about the nature of brains and minds. So this is what I think is probably the most challenging and difficult thing about Armstrong, where he starts to talk about dispositions. So let me just go back. So he talks a bit about behaviourism and how they've understood dispositions. So for a behaviourist, they might say something like, in order to explain or give an account is that someone does behave in certain ways, or even to give an account of why they might have behaved in certain ways but didn't actually do so. They give this idea, or use this idea of someone having the disposition. So if I'm angry, I might have the disposition to shout, to yell, to use expletives, maybe to shake my fist in the air, and that type of thing. Whether or not I do so, it doesn't really matter. The main thing for the behaviours is that I could have did this. It's my disposition to do this. So for the behaviours to say that the vase is fragile is not to speak of some inner state or condition of the vase, but of what would happen if it were dropped. So likewise, for behaviours to talk about my inner state, it's not to say what the inner state is, it's just what behaviour might happen if certain situations come about. Now, Armstrong changes this, doesn't agree with it, but he uses this idea of disposition. He talks about more of causal disposition. So before it was a kind of, what's called, you don't have to get into the terminology, but that was a conditional disposition. Armstrong's changing this to talk about causes, good causal disposition. So for Armstrong, likewise, he talks about, he uses the example of the glass, but it's almost like the inner state of the glass itself, the way that molecules are composed amongst each other, creates the causal factors that allow it to shatter. So likewise, for Armstrong, the inner states of the central nervous system, the way my brain and central nervous systems, the chemical and neurological combination of those, they are the causal inner states for my behaviour. So it's a minor thing. It can be useful to go over. It's a very technical thing. In past, let's have a look at the past exam. Look. It hasn't been mentioned, so last year there was a question on why does Armstrong think that the views of scientists of the nature of the mind should be accepted. For a full mark response to that, you're just looking to talk about what I initially was talking about, that scientists converge on one opinion. It's rational to believe. Scientists believe, so scientists believe the inner causes of behaviour are brain states. So, given an outline of that would have been relevant for that question. And the second part was more about Armstrong's account of consciousness. So again, it's not really talking about dispositions. This was towards the end of the Armstrong text, where he gives an account, tries to give an account of how people have a first-person experience of consciousness. His conclusion is something like, I guess he's responding to the difficulty for physicalists to give an account of how it seems to be that we have these first-person experiences of beliefs and desires and feelings and perceptions. In a sense, these conscious experiences of it. So Armstrong tries to go on and give an account that would suitably explain our first-person views of consciousness. So, unlike the behaviourists, who can't really, doesn't seem to give an account for consciousness, Armstrong wants to shift that. He clearly thinks that there is these things called first-person experiences, and he wants to give a framework for scientists to be able to explain that a little bit. So he's not dismissing it like a behaviourist. So he's not a behaviourist. Don't say he's a behaviourist. Animals won't like that. I'll probably stop there. As I mentioned, a lot of this was based on PowerPoint in the mega page by Rose Phillips. Have a look at that. Email your teacher if you would like more info on Armstrong's views.